Have you ever felt like your brain just isn't what it used to be? Like learning new things is an uphill battle? Well, if that sounds familiar, you've come to the right place. We're about to bust the myth that learning gets harder with age. In fact, we're going to show you why learning after 40 isn't a decline at all. It's a full-blown upgrade. So let's start with the big question, the one that's probably on your mind. Is my brain actually getting worse at this stuff? Or is it just different? What if it's not about losing power, but about your brain shifting its whole operating system, gearing up its strengths for a totally new set of challenges?
Let me give you a simple way to think about it. Imagine your brain in your 20s. It's like a brand new computer with tons of super fast RAM. It can just effortlessly juggle all sorts of new random bits of information. But the brain after 40, it's a different machine. It's less about that raw processing speed and way more about its massive, deeply connected hard drive of experience.
Now, that raw processing power has a name. It's called fluid intelligence. It's your ability to tackle a totally new problem you've never seen before. It's why cramming for a test or memorizing a long list of vocabulary probably felt a lot easier when you were younger. And yeah, this ability does naturally decline a bit with age, which is why just trying to brute force memorize things now can feel like running through mud.
But here's the upgrade I was talking about. As that fluid intelligence fades into the background, something else takes center stage: crystallized intelligence. And let me tell you, this is your new superpower. It's the ability to see patterns, to make connections, and to use that huge library of life experience to solve problems with logic. You're not losing ability, you're just trading one kind for another, more powerful one.
So let's put them side by side. On one hand, you've got the raw speed of fluid intelligence, which is great for brand new stuff. On the other, you have the incredible depth of crystallized intelligence, which is perfect for seeing the big picture, for logic, for pattern recognition. The real strategic shift for any adult learner is to stop trying to use the tools of a 20-year-old and start leveraging the incredibly powerful database you've spent a lifetime building. So, if our brain is running on different hardware, then we need to approach learning like an engineering challenge, right? It's not about trying harder or pushing through. It's about building a smarter system, a system that works with your brain's new architecture, not against it.
And look, every system has its bugs, and the adult learner's operating system has a few common ones. First, there's a physical hardware issue, visual bottlenecks, like age-related farsightedness. Second, a resource management problem, decision fatigue. And third, a sneaky little software bug called the knowledge trap, where what you already know can actually get in the way. Let's just zoom in on that second bug for a second. Decision fatigue. This one is huge. After a full day of making calls and decisions at work, the absolute last thing your brain wants to do is make another choice about what to study or how to study it. That tiny moment of friction is often all it takes to completely derail the whole plan. Your system has just plain run out of willpower for the day. But here's the good news. For every bug, there's a patch. Modern tools and new strategies let us install some critical upgrades to our learning system, turning these so-called weaknesses into incredible strengths. This is basically your cheat sheet. It lays out a clear engineering-style approach to these problems. Having trouble with your vision? Okay, optimize your interface with something called universal design fonts. Suffering from that decision fatigue we just talked about? You automate your study schedule with an algorithm. See, this isn't about willpower anymore. It's about smart system design. And let's take that automation idea just one step further. A traditional spaced repetition system, or SRS, is pretty good at helping you remember things. But a modern one, called FSRS, uses machine learning to predict exactly when you're about to forget something. And what that means for you is a 20 to 30% cut in your review workload. That is a massive efficiency gain, giving you back precious time and mental energy. I mean, think about it. Today, you can build an entire AI team to support your learning. You can have an AI generate custom practice materials that are actually relevant to your career. It can act as your 24/7 editor, giving you instant feedback. It can even turn dense, dry reports into podcasts you can listen to on your commute. You are essentially automating the entire support structure you need for learning. Okay, so we've engineered the system, we've installed all the upgrades. Now what? What's the payoff? What does this new way of learning actually unlock for you in the real world? This is where your crystallized intelligence really gets to shine. You stop trying to memorize random facts, and you start mapping new information to what you already know. So, for example, a programmer who's learning Japanese doesn't just memorize what the particles wa and o do. No, they map them to a concept they already get, named parameters in a function. And boom, the new knowledge just clicks right into their existing mental framework.
And that ability to map and connect knowledge, well, it creates these incredibly valuable, high-demand new roles. A bridge systems engineer isn't just a translator. They're more like a context converter. They use their deep technical know-how and their new language skills to literally bridge the gap between different business cultures and tech teams.
And this isn't just some fun intellectual exercise. This strategic approach to learning has a tangible financial return on investment. That 2 million new Taiwan dollars, that's about 64,000 US dollars a year. By leveraging your deep experience and adding a new skill in a smart, engineered way, you unlock career paths that just weren't on the table before, with the salaries to match. So this brings us to one final, powerful thought. Learning a new language after 40 is often seen as one of the hardest things you can do. But if you can treat it like a systems engineering problem and actually solve it, well, that begs a pretty exciting question. What other skill that you once thought was impossible is now totally within your reach?